Um, I'll say the transition has been fairly well. My teammates and the coaches have made it real easy. Just telling me what I need to do. On the court and off the court. So I feel as if it's been a smooth transition since I came here.
What stood out about Oklahoma State in the transfer process?
Um, Coach Mike. Coach Mike was the main one recruiting me. I didn't hear from an assistant coach at all. Coach Mike did all my recruiting compared to other schools. Other schools had assistants calling me, but Coach Mike from like day one, he like was calling me. And then one text really stood out to me. Like it was like 12 o'clock, 12 midnight, and he texted me like, "What's going on, big guy? Like you ready to come to Oklahoma State?" Like a coach is contacting me at 12 a.m. at night. Like he could be doing something completely different with his kids or just out on a date with his wife, just something. But he thinking about me, so I thought that was big.
Do you remember when you first met Coach Boynton?
You said what you said?
Do you remember when you first met Coach Boynton, kind of what your first impression was?
Genuine. My first time actually meeting Coach Mike was when I first stepped foot in his building. Matter of fact, the first day I got out here, and ever since then it's just been real genuine. He was real nice to my parents, showed us around, So I thought that was real big of him because he could have had somebody else doing that also. You know what I'm saying? So it's just been nothing but love and genuine since I got here with Coach Mike.
What did you know about Oklahoma State before you came here? Before Mike even had reached out to you, did you know anything about the school?
Um, it was actually Coach Mike and Oklahoma State was the first school to ever send me a recruiting mail. So like since like I was in 10th grade, so I did a little bit of research then. Found out some players that came here like Tony Allen, Marcus Smart. So I figured that out. But I didn't really like go into depth because like I didn't know in high school that I wouldn't think I was come over to Oklahoma State. So not really in high school, but when I entered the portal and Coach Mike was talking to me more and more, I started doing more research and I understand the type of school and program that he wanted to run, and I felt as if I wanted to be a part of that.
What do you think of Oklahoma?
Sorry, go ahead.
What do you think of Oklahoma so far? That you think you'd come out here?
I'm from DC, so it was kind of a transition, like a different transition. It's a lot slow pace out here. It's a lot slower out here compared to the city. Like it was just some weekends in the summer, like we just wasn't doing nothing, just in our dorms or in the gym. Because in DC it's always something to do. So I felt as if like once I got used to that and just was like I just got to be in the gym as much as possible. That's where my fun is gonna come from. I'll be fine, and that happened. So I feel like I'm doing good with that transition also.
How rare is that? And maybe how meaningful is it when the head coach is the guy doing the recruiting and not assistants?
It's like it really shows you that that school and that coach wants you and that they have trust in you. Like assistant coach means a lot, but it doesn't mean as much as the capo, the head person saying it. Like that's the boss. So whatever the boss say really goes, and that's how he feel. And like he was telling me like look up like player stats and how they progress and stuff like that, and he was telling me that that could be me. So I'm like, if he really believe in me and telling me this, it got to be true. So why not go to a coach and a program that truly believes in me? So I feel like that, like the head coach doing a lot of recruiting, like really talking to you on an everyday basis, is a huge contribution to like a player making his decision.
What role did seeing Cade Cunningham's success here play in you really buying into OSU's program?
To be honest, Cade, like me and Cade are two different players.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just stamped coming out of high school as to be the number one pick. So I didn't really take that into like me coming to Oklahoma State because I'm not Cade. I wasn't projected to be the number one player. I wasn't the number one player in high school. So all roles are different. So I didn't really try to make that as a part of my decision. I just wanted to hear what Coach Mike got to say, how he can develop me and try to help me get to where Cade was at as a lottery pick, hopefully a first pick. So that's what I wanted to know, like what can he do and what can I do for us to help us together meet both our goals, team-wise and individually. I felt Coach Mike did a good job explaining on what I need to do and what I need to do for the team to make that happen.
I know the way that you guys operate here and the way you did at your previous school was pretty different just in terms of the day-to-day. What was that adjustment like for you?
Day-to-day, I would say it was here is a lot more detail-oriented, like no matter what, like everything's scheduled like to the second, like literally training table mandatory. training table mandatory, you got study hall mandatory, shooting groups, then practice, then study hall again, extra shots. Like everything is planned to a T. You know, like at Syracuse, I wouldn't say like I wouldn't know like if that is how it would be during a regular year because I was there during COVID. But from my experience at Syracuse, you know, it wasn't like that last year. You know, it was kind of like we had a lot more free time compared to here.
What's it like rooming with Rondell? Has he helped you along a little bit?
Man, Rondell, that's my dog. That's my brother right there. He didn't help me since day one. Ever since day one, it's been good vibes. So, like, just like he even helped me meeting new friends out here. You know, like just taking me out every time he go out. You know, he just was a real genuine person. You know, and he most definitely has helped me with the transition. You know, so that's really my brother right there.
Is there anyone on this roster that you didn't know much about him coming in, obviously? Is there anyone on this roster that kind of surprised you?
Keelan Boone, he's different. Like he might not pop up on the stat sheet. Like you might look at his stats and like, he didn't average that much, but in practice he's really a killer though. Like he'll hit some of the most contested shots and like he's so versatile. But like he can shoot, pass, dribble. So you know, Keelan Boone, he's a really good player, and it really surprised me when I got it because I didn't really know too much about him.
Syracuse is obviously known for the 2-3 zone, and Mike's man-to-man defense can be pretty aggressive. How was that transition, kind of learning that?
You know, taking a year off to playing man-to-man defense to zone, you know, I feel like coming here, it was a real big adjustment. And every coach and player can say that I really struggled when I first got here because, you know, like, you on your toes and you just bouncing around, going from the wing to the block and the zone compared to now. And, man, I really got to sit down, slide my feet, learn rotations, drops, different ball screen coverages. You know, I didn't have to do all that at Syracuse. So, like when I first got here, I really struggled at that. But I just work on it every day. You know, try to gain as much knowledge from the best defenders on our team, like Rondell, Ice, Avery. You know, they just telling me, walking me through stuff, and telling me what I can get better at or what I need to do in this certain situation. Also, the coaches. So I know, like, so I just feel like I'm getting better day by day with my man-to-man defense.
Are you or some of the other guys on the team excited for homecoming hoops or any other like homecoming activities this week?
I feel like everybody's excited for homecoming hoops. You know, this is different. You know, one, I never got to experience our homecoming hoops because of COVID last year at Syracuse, so I'm looking forward to seeing what that's like. Also, you know, it's outside. Like nobody has ever done one outside in this group, I think. So I feel like we're really looking forward to it. I feel like the dunk contest is really going to be interesting with MA 1K. I might get in and I might not. We'll see. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be real interesting.
Do you guys all plan on going to the game on Saturday afterwards?
Absolutely. We got to show love to the football team, 100%.
If you're not involved, who's your pick in the dunk contest?
Ooh, picking a dunk contest. I don't know. It really depends on how 1K feel. If 1K feeling bouncy that day, like if he really want to put on a show, I might give it a 1K. But like on a day-to-day in and out basis, I'll give it an MA. But me going into it, I'm gonna go with 1K. I think he's gonna pull some tricks out.
Y'all practice it much? The dunks?
You know, they kill us so much they run it so much in practice. Our legs be tired. But so like some days when we all feeling bouncy, you know, we might have a little dunk off here and there, just see what we can do, you know, just occasionally.